Hello, welcome everyone to the Career Readiness and Job Placement Team's Get Work Wednesday webinar. We have an amazing lineup of employers here with us today, including GatePath, LEN Business and Language Institute, SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory, and Voices College-Bound Language Academies. I'd like to thank everyone for coming here today and taking time to speak with all of you about the current positions that are available within their company that might be potential positions for you. So before I begin, I would love to introduce myself. My name is Alexa Moore. I'm a job placement coordinator for Society and Education. And I want to kick it all off again by just saying thank you to our representatives for coming here today. And prior to getting into the different positions that you have available, if we could please go around and you can introduce yourself as well as talk a little bit more about your company and the products or services that you provide within your community. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Barsha from GatePath.
Hi everybody, I'm Barsha. I'm from AbilityPath, formerly known as GatePath and Abilities United. I'm the staffing and volunteer coordinator there, and our organization provides different programs and services for the lifespan of individuals with developmental disabilities. So we kind of categorize our programs as children's services and adult services. So within children's services, we have 3 inclusive preschools, as well as our children's therapy services team, which is comprised of speech language pathologists, occupational therapists, and physical therapists. Within adult services, we have a wide variety of programs, some specifically related to employment, others related to independent living skills, and also our community engagement program as well.
Thank you so much, Barsha, for sharing that information. I look forward to hearing more about those positions that you have available. I'm going to go ahead and move along to Nancy from LEN Business and Language Institute.
Hello, I'm Nancy Rind, and for the past 30 years, I've been the owner of LEN Institute, and for 30 years, we have been involved in many different areas of the workforce development community, primarily in San Francisco, but the Bay Area. I'm here today to talk primarily about our partnership with Mercy Housing. We've had a contract for the last 8 years with Mercy Housing to staff their entry-level position of front desk clerk and to develop staff into management positions with them.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I appreciate it. And I'm going to go ahead and move along to Daniela from the Voices College-Bound Language Academies.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daniela. I am the Talent Associate at Voices College-Bound Language Academies. We are actually an K-8 dual immersion charter school. So we provide, our program is in English and in Spanish. So our English language learners are not left behind in their education. We are really motivated to close the achievement gap that is usually dominant in low income and underserved areas. And we're excited to talk to everyone here about opportunities on how you can help these students and provide support in the classroom.
Thank you so much, Daniela. And last but not least, we have Enrique. Are you here?
I am here.
Hi, Enrique. I'm glad you made it in.
Thank you. I'm doing my best impersonation of Terrence.
Oh, okay. Don't worry. I can change that name for you at the bottom. I'll fix that. So Enrique is talking to us from, just saying, in case you didn't catch it, we're just introducing ourselves and talking a little bit about the products or services that your company provides before we actually go into the different positions that are available. So you were representing, and is it SALAC or SLAC?
SLAC, right.
SLAC, National Accelerator Laboratory. So please tell us about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Enrique, and I am the manager of the workforce development programs, the internship programs at SLAC. So for those of you that are not familiar with SLAC, SLAC is a Department of Energy National Accelerator Laboratory. So that immediately already makes you think that this is high energy physics. I don't know if I can do that. That's not true. At SLAC, we are really a multi-program laboratory, research laboratory, and we do research in many, many areas ranging from biology, material science, battery research, energy storage, and of course, accelerator physics and astrophysics and cosmology. So I've had community college students like you come to SLAC to do summer internships, and invariably everybody ends up having a wonderful time. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you too. And thank you to everyone for telling us a little bit of background information. Seems very intriguing to those who are interested in that type of industry. And we would love to hear more about the positions available within your company. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it back to Varsha, if you wouldn't mind starting us off and just telling us a little bit more about the positions you have and what are the most important qualifications and skills for these type of positions.
Yeah, definitely. So at Ability Path, one of the opportunities that we currently have available is for a paid internship opportunity in our Community Access Program. This program works with adults with developmental disabilities, and interns get the opportunity to plan different lessons and activities and kind of act like a mentor and a coach for our participants as well. So traditionally, this program was all about going out into the community. Obviously, given the current situation, we've kind of turned more virtual. And we've been focusing on teaching lessons virtually about resume building, interview skills, but also other recreational-based activities such as a fitness class or music and art activities as well. So this is a really great program for anyone who's pursuing psychology, sociology, therapy, recreational therapy to be more specific. And if you're really interested in kind of acting as like a mentor and a coach and have a passion for working with the population, it's a really great fit for you. In addition to that, we also have opportunities in our preschools for preschool teachers. So we have 3 inclusive preschools, one in Burlingame, Palo Alto, and Mountain View. And we're looking for teachers who have some early childhood education units and are looking to work with children of all abilities. And we have an inclusive model, so you'll be able to work alongside inclusion teachers, special education teachers, and other preschool teachers as well. And then closely aligned with the community instructor position, we also have some instructor positions as well, both full-time and part-time. And this is very similar to what I mentioned earlier with community access, where you'll be either working with participants in a group basis or even one-on-one and kind of developing a plan and activities that can help our participants kind of reach the goals that they're aiming to work towards. So those are some of the opportunities that we have available. And as far as qualifications that we're looking for, I think one of the main things that we really look for is someone who's really passionate for our mission and our vision to create a space where people of all abilities can be accepted, respected, and included. And obviously, if you're enrolled in a program with relevant experience, such as psychology, sociology, public health, education, any of those kind of degrees or classes are definitely beneficial to have. Any experience you've had working with the population is obviously a plus. And someone who, again, who's maybe had experience with tutoring before or coaching or mentoring, that aspect is also things that we look for. But ultimately, we're happy to kind of engage with students who are really just passionate about our mission and kind of looking to gain that experience as well.
Thank you, Varsha. That sounds really interesting. And also, I am a big fan of Gate Path. I actually did my internship there. So I know they have amazing opportunities, especially for our students in the early childhood education field and psychology looking to gain experience with working with children. And it's amazing to even hear that you support adults in the community as well. So those sound all amazing. And also just another question in regards to why your company you feel like would be an ideal place to work in general. So some perks or benefits that could really draw someone in addition to, you know, being able to really be passionate about the work that you do.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the biggest things that I personally enjoy about working with Ability Path or Gate Path, and one of the things that I think many people enjoy about coming to work with our organization is really our organization culture. Everyone who kind of becomes a part of our organization, again, is very passionate about our mission and vision of creating a world where everyone is accepted, respected, and included. And in addition to that, we really do value growth opportunities for our employees and interns. I myself started as an intern within the organization, and now I've moved on to a full-time position. So it was really amazing that they provided me with those opportunities to kind of develop within the organization. And I've seen many of our interns actually move on to full-on instructor roles and even move on within the organization as well. So I think that's something that we really value. And then for full-time employees, we do offer some really great benefits. We have a really great comprehensive benefits package with medical, dental, 401k, and some also educational reimbursement opportunities as well. But I think ultimately our culture and kind of that sort of mindset of all working towards the same goal is something that really gets people interested in working with our organization, is one of the reasons why I really enjoy to work with Ability Path as well.
Thank you so much, Varsha. I really appreciate your time that you spent telling us about these amazing positions. And I hope that our ECE psychology and students are listening, because these are great opportunities should they be looking for work. So thank you so much, Varsha. And now I'm going to pass it along to my colleague, Renee, and she'll introduce our next employer.
Thank you, Alexa and Barsha. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee Liang, and I am currently the Job Placement Coordinator for Business Entrepreneurship and Management. And next, I would like to introduce Nancy Rin to speak about the job opportunities available at LEN Business and Language Institute. So, hi, Nancy. Can you tell us about the front desk clerk positions that are available at the Mercy housing facilities throughout San Francisco?
Yes, Renee, I'm really happy to. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. So LEN Institute has been a school for, as I said, 30 years, but the position that I'm really here to talk about today is workforce development, partnering with Mercy Housing. Mercy Housing is a national organization. They're in 48 out of 52 states. In the city of San Francisco alone, they have over 50 facilities where they provide housing to seniors, disabled, and low-income families. We work with Mercy Housing in two ways. We work with them by providing staffing in about 20 of those 50 facilities. We staff the position of front desk clerk. So the person is a LEN employee but works at Mercy facilities. The position of front desk clerk there's 3 shifts available. There's a day shift that is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. There is a swing shift that is 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. And there's a graveyard shift from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The duties for those shifts vary. Obviously, if you're working a graveyard shift, the facility is pretty quiet. You're primarily there to maintain any kind of security, monitor people coming and going from the building. Graveyard shifts and swing shifts as well are really great for students who would like to maybe study while they're working and earning $16.07 an hour. The day shifts tend to be a lot more active. There's people coming and going that you're monitoring from the building. All of the facilities have wraparound services, and this might be really interesting to students who are in community health services fields, psychology, social sciences. For instance, in a senior facility, besides just providing housing to the seniors, there's also resident services staff that plays bingo with the seniors or brings in food bank activities. If it's a family facility, there's daycare on site, there's after school tutoring on site. And so Mercy's not only interested in providing housing to individuals who are struggling with homelessness, but in building really positive communities where people have the opportunity to move forward and create a better life for themselves and their families. And that comes to the second piece of how we work with Mercy, and that is for people who are working for LEN as front desk clerks, but who think that they might be appropriate to move into assistant manager positions or resident services positions. We help them to gain the skills necessary to move into those positions. So people who are in business, entrepreneurship, psychology, community services, social sciences. Mercy also has lawyers that work for them, all kinds of staff, janitorial staff, maintenance staff. There have all sorts of staff that work for Mercy. And LEN helps to identify and support staff and develop staff to accept positions with Mercy. The entry-level position of front desk clerk, it starts at $16.07 an hour with $2.05 an hour put into a medical reimbursement account. There is usually overtime available that is paid at $24.14 an hour. And if you work any holidays, you make $32.14 an hour. The skills that are important for the position are, it's important to be really reliable. It is important to be open to learning and taking direction. We hire a lot of people who do not have experience in this field. And so we're really accustomed to helping people develop, take the training and develop the skills necessary to go into the world of property management, community service, etc. It's also important to have good customer service skills. You're dealing with people, not so much on the graveyard shift, which is pretty quiet, but other than that, you're dealing with people all day long. Most of the Mercy facilities have at least 100 units. And so there's probably 300 to 500 people that live at those facilities. So you're working with their families, with their guests that are coming and going. Of course, in the time of COVID, there's a lot of precautionary procedures in place. Guests are not allowed in the facilities right now, but we are still fully staffed and people are still actively working a full 40-hour work week. I'm thinking that I've said pretty much everything. Do you have any questions you might help me with?
Yes, thank you for all that information. The different housing facilities and locations throughout San Francisco are definitely a great opportunity. Sorry, especially for students if they want to work around their schedule or find a shift that works for them while they're taking classes. These are great for them to experience, especially since you said it's great for entry level and to learn these skills. Is there any specific qualifications that are necessary for this job?
No, you have to be 18 years old. And that is really the only requirement for the position. You have to get it through an interview with me, and I'm a really nice boss, but I definitely look for people that I think want to learn and move forward, follow direction wells. Mercy has almost every Mercy facility, and as I said, there's over 50 in the city, has at least one person in management that has come through LEN. So we work really closely with them. And the reason is I have really good staff that wants to grow and develop. Or probably we have about 45 desk clerks, and probably half our desk clerks just want to be desk clerks. They like the job. That's where they want to stay. They don't want the headaches of management. They are not necessarily looking to move forward. They're looking for really stable employment that offers them an opportunity to support their families.
Thank you. The front desk clerk positions sound like a great way to start in business and administration, and the 3 shifts that are available are also really great opportunities, and the support I can see from the staff from the LEN community and the training are going to be great, and the career paths also sound amazing with the benefits. And is there anything else you would like to include?
I will say that of our 45 clerks, a number of them are City College students, and we have a really great relationship working with those students and giving them an opportunity to really be exposed to the real work world and what's happening out there, and to be exposed to working for a large nonprofit corporation that's dedicated to community service like Mercy is. And so I hope that I've encouraged some people to apply to work with us. And thank you very much for letting me have the time to speak.
Definitely. Thank you again, Nancy, for sharing these awesome opportunities with us today. And now I'm going to pass the virtual mic to my colleague Terrence to introduce our next representative.
Thank you, Renee and Nancy. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Terrence Jang. I am the Job Placement Coordinator for Science, Technology, and Health. Next up, we will have Enrique from SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory to share about the available positions at his company. So hi, Enrique. Can you tell us can you tell us more about the available positions and what qualifications and skills are required for each position?
Sure. Okay, so I'm here to represent SLAC, obviously, SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory, but in a broader sense to represent the national labs in general. There are 17 national labs throughout the US, and these are research institutions. They're the premier research institutions in the country. The facilities that are attached to these national labs are incredible. So this is a great opportunity for young students, STEM students, to engage in really cutting edge technology using instrumentation that is large and expensive, and it's trying to address and solve the most pressing problems that we have in the country and in the world in general. So as I mentioned, there are 17 national labs. 4 of them are right here in the Bay Area. And you may not be aware of that, but you may have heard of the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. Then there's Sandia Livermore National Laboratory. All 3 of those are on the East Bay. And then over here on the peninsula, where we are, is SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory. The acronym SLAC at some point stood for Stanford Linear Accelerator Center, but today it's just called SLAC without a meaning to that, and the moniker National Accelerator Laboratory is attached to that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the kinds of research opportunities that are available for students, and in particular the internship opportunities. So these are all paid internships, and we've been talking about numbers. The students that do internships at the National Lab will receive a stipend, and that stipend is $600 per week. Plus there is also a housing allowance. We are continuing that program in spite of COVID-19, except all the research is being done. All the students are working remotely from home, so everybody's sheltering in place. We receive funding directly from the Department of Energy to fund 2 specific programs that are really ideal for undergraduates. The 2 programs are called SULI, the Science Undergraduate Laboratory Internship. These would be for primarily for students who are in 4-year colleges. And then there's CCI, which is the Community College Internship Program, and this is for community college students. And it really doesn't matter if you are a community college student and you are going to be ending your studies with an associate's degree, or if you're planning on transferring to a 4-year degree. So if you are in the community college, you can apply to CCI. If you are already planning to go into the SULI program and you're finishing up your associate's degree, you can apply to the SULI program. All applications are done online on the DOE website. And you just simply, if you Google SULI or DOE SULI or DOE CCI, it'll just take you right to their webpage. You indicate your interest in applying to the internship. Applications open in mid-October, and it will be announced on the website. And they close rather precipitously in the early part of January. And when I say precipitously, because DOE mandates that all applications need to be complete and they need to be submitted online by that date, and that time is usually 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on some early day in January. And you don't want to be even a minute late because DOE will simply reject your application. So those are the 2 flagship programs that are funded by DOE. We have a number of other programs, and you can see them here. But the one that I want to get to immediately is STEM Core. And STEM Core is a program which is looking a little bit less at students who are interested in research, and rather to students who are really looking for careers as technicians or technologists, and probably would most likely would stop at the associate's level, but want to get a nice paying job. So we are a multi-program laboratory. We do research in incredible things with incredible tools. And as a STEM Core intern, you would be involved in precisely that, the building and the maintenance of these tools. As you can imagine, we have a large cohort of PhDs and senior engineers who are keeping things running and who are doing research using these incredible light sources that we have. I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But somebody's got to keep it running. And who keeps it running? Well, the technicians and technologists. And that particular workforce is a workforce that learns its trade on the job. Because in school, you can get some basic engineering courses, you can take some basic computer science courses, some programming courses, but you're really not going to be able to learn accelerator physics, for example, in these courses. You're going to learn about that, and you're going to become really, really good at it over the course of your career. Now, that is a double-edged sword. Not only do we have excellent, really wonderful technicians here, they've been here for a long time with us. What that means is that they are nearing retirement age. So we need to bring in a cohort of young students who are interested in these technician and technologist careers, and they can learn from these guys and women before they retire. So we have opened up opportunities for permanent employment to a number of the STEM Core students. Also, a number of the STEM Core students have come to do the research internship or the STEM Core internship during the summer, and they stood out. And so the departments, individual departments at SLAC have proceeded to encourage them to, in some cases, to return to SLAC after they complete their AA degree and get a permanent job, or encourage them to, if they're so inclined, as soon as so inclined, go ahead and complete their 4-year degree, and then they're guaranteed a job. So these are wonderful opportunities, and these are really high-paying jobs. I mean, I'm talking about $60,000, $80,000 a year type of jobs. So much better than what is normal. I encourage any intern or any student in Skyline who is interested in STEM and is interested in a career at SLAC to consider an internship during the summer. Now, we run it during the summer only. As I mentioned, it's possible to extend STEM Core students into the fall, and that's up to the department to do that. But we will certainly pay, and they will be paid by the department. But we in my department, we will pay the student their stipend while they are engaged in this kind of work. One of the big pluses of this, again, is the opportunity to really sample what it's like to work in a national laboratory. And so what is that? What is it like to work in a national laboratory? I like to think of national laboratories as being kind of like in between in industry research laboratory and an academic research laboratory. So in academia, basically you need to publish papers and you need to get your own funding. Sometimes there is seed funding provided by the department for new scientists and engineers, but generally you're going to be spending a lot of time writing grants. On the other hand, here we're funded entirely by the Department of Energy. We have a budget of approximately $400 million a year, and that operates the entire laboratory, which has about 1,600 employees, of which roughly 800 or so are PhD scientists and engineers, and the rest are support and technician and technologist careers. So the national laboratories are, like I said, the premier research institutions. And what is unique about SLAC is that we have two incredible light sources. One of the light sources is called SSRL, which stands for, we're really good at acronyms, by the way. SSRL stands for Stanford Synchrotron Radiation Light Source. And synchrotron radiation is X-rays that are produced when you accelerate an electron and you make it go in a curved path using magnets, which we build here. And I've had STEM core students who have worked in the magnet shop building these magnets. You can't just order one from Amazon. You have to build it. These are huge, 3,000 pounds, 5,000 pound magnets. Literally, you could sit on top of one of those magnets when it's not operating. Of course, you sit on top of one of those magnets and with a bunch of your friends and have a picnic. I mean, they're just big. So when the electrons then go in a curved path, they emit X-rays. And we use those X-rays. We use them to probe matter, to probe surfaces, to look at chemistry, to look at interaction with light. There are literally lots and lots of experiments that can be done simultaneously with these devices. There is a similar device, a little bit smaller than ours at Berkeley. It's called the Advanced Light Source, ALS. And there are a number of others around the country. Argonne National Labs has one, Fermi has one, Brookhaven has one, and so forth. So we were the very first ones to use synchrotron radiation to generate these X-rays and to start using these X-rays. The other light source that we have is in some ways more impressive. It is called the LCLS, LINAC, which means linear accelerator, LINAC coherent light source. And it's a laser. Not only is it a laser, it's an X-ray laser or a free electron laser, also called free electron laser. And it has two very important characteristics. It's very, very intense. And intensity means you can see smaller and smaller constituents of matter. So we can get down to the atomic scale. The second feature, and just to give you an idea of the magnitude of this, if you think of a dental X-ray or a chest X-ray, and you say that that's magnitude 1, arbitrary number, 1, SSRL has a magnitude of about 100,000, and LCLS is a magnitude of 1 billion. So it's a dramatic increase, The second feature of LCLS is that these X-rays that are generated come out as pulses. And these are very, very, very short pulses. I'm talking about, in terms of units, you may remember from your high school chemistry or physics, femtosecond, 10 to the minus 15 seconds. So when you're at those very small timescales, you can actually see chemistry in action, and you can see biology in action, and you can see physics in action. So you can actually generate molecular movies. You can generate a movie of what happens to a molecule as it is excited and then falls apart or reforms. So that's only possible because of these very, very, very short pulses. One last thing, not only is interest in science, in STEM, something that we highly value, but we also have to do a lot of analytical work. That is, we need to look at, for example, large data sets, because when you're talking about a billion pulses per second. The amount of data that is generated in a single experiment is humongous. And so being able to analyze that data is not possible except for using techniques of machine learning and artificial intelligence. And so students who have an inkling for programming and an inkling for or a love of big data, they're absolutely in very high demand. And if I was going to give one piece of advice to students at Skyline, it would be learn some programming languages. Once you learn one, you will actually be quite good at learning others. And you might ask me, well, which one? And I would say Python. So study Python. Take a class if it's offered. In your own time, there are wonderful tutorials and lots and lots of libraries on the web, and they're completely free. So Python would be, I know that probably none of you are old enough to remember the movie with, I forget right now, but where the word was plastics, right? So, the advice that was given to
The Graduate.
The Graduate, right? So
with Dustin Hoffman.
With Dustin Hoffman, exactly. So the word there was plastics. That was the key to the future. And I'm just telling you, Python. Okay, so I manage the internship programs. I mentioned to you how you apply to these. If you're interested in STEM core, your own college hopefully will provide the funding, and if not, then encourage them to join with STEM core. Is an organization that helps us with that. And if you send me an email, and my email is very easy, it's just my last name @slack.stanford.edu. So send me an email. If you're interested in the SULI or CCI programs, apply online. Make sure you do it sometime in the mid-October to early January timeframe. You're going to need to submit a completed application. You're going to need some letters of recommendation. You're going to need to request your transcripts and submit them on that application. Don't leave that till mid-December, because faculty do not want to write letters of recommendation over the holidays. So make sure you ask for those early on.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I'm taking probably too much time, but an internship at a national lab also looks great on your resume.
All right. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Enrique, for sharing the information about SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory. These are definitely great opportunities for our students here at Skyline College, as we have a large range of STEM students. Not only is this a great learning experience for them, it is also a good way for them to step their foot into the door to see what they're interested in. But due to time constraints, I would like to pass on to Alexa, because I want to respect everyone's time today.
Right. Sorry about that.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Terrence. Thank you, Enrique. That was very informative and actually really great opportunities for our STEM students. So hopefully we can connect you to our faculty in our STEM department, as we do have a really robust program at Skyline. So I look forward to that connection in the future. And I'm going to now introduce Daniela from the Voices College Bound Language Academies. And hi, Daniela. How are you doing?
Hey, Alexa, thank you so much. I wanted to jump on here today to talk about our associate teacher role. At Voices, we have our lead classroom teachers, who is, the teacher you see every day, and then we have associate teachers for our kinder through 4th grade classes, or kinder through 3rd, and they are the teacher's assistants. Their responsibilities range from classroom supervision, helping with classroom management, lunch and recess supervision, as well as working with small groups that teachers may deem need a little bit more support, and just helping all students in general in the classroom. Currently, we do have part-time roles available from 9 a.m. to 2:30, Monday through Friday. So it is a set schedule with your weekends off. It's a great schedule to be able to work and gain classroom experience, as well as, knowing that every day you will be off by 2:30, so that you can create your school schedule around that. So evening and afternoon classes are really easy to plug in there. We are a Title I school, so the state of California deems us Title I because we do help more of our low-income communities, since that is our focus. And because of that, the state of California does set some requirements for this position, which are 48 college semester units. The units can be in anything. They don't have to be ECE or any solid major type of classes. It just has to be 48 college semester, because we will be required to ask for transcripts, and as well as being bilingual. Because we do run a dual immersion program, we want our students to be surrounded and immersed in the language. So it is required that you be bilingual in Spanish and English. Part of our days are taught solely in Spanish, and the expectation is that our students do not respond in English. So we want to set that example with everybody. So other than that, we do have the classroom positions from kinder through third. We also have special education positions, which would fall under more of a paraprofessional. We have inclusive classrooms, so students are not in a separate special day class. They are in a general education classroom, just receiving additional supports from those special education associate teachers. That is also part-time, but from time to time, some full-time positions become available. So if they are looking for something full-time, just keep an eye out, because sometimes people transition out or transition to other roles, and those opportunities do come up. But a great thing about Voices is the opportunity for growth within our roles. For example, I myself started as an associate teacher, realized that as much as I love education, my role wasn't going to be in the classroom. So I was given the opportunity to work at our central office as a talent associate. So there's definitely career paths, whether you want to do something more behind the scenes, whether it's a finance role or anything else along those lines. An associate teacher is a great way to get your foot in the door, as well as getting your feet wet if you've ever considered education, whether it's early childhood education or being a fifth grade teacher. We have a lot of associate teachers that after their undergrad is completed, they do turn into lead classroom teachers through Voices. We provide a lot of support through our HR department with just a career path and what it means to be a teacher and what you need to get done. A great thing too is our culture at our school sites. It's very family oriented. We're very small communities, so our students really develop a trusting bond with our teachers and our teachers with each other. And just for some general information, we have positions in San Jose, Morgan Hill, Pinole, and Stockton, in case any students are relocating or are looking to do that as well. And our starting pay rate is $16.85 an hour. If you have experience working with students before, that is taken into consideration to possibly increase that. And yeah, I think other than that, that is it for me, unless there's any other questions from the team over at Skyline.
Thank you so much, Daniela, for giving us all that information. I think that it sounds like a really great place to work for, and there's a lot of opportunities to grow within your company. And we do have a great early childhood education program, so that would be very appealing to our students, as well as elementary education degree as well. And also, I know you mentioned being bilingual, so we also have students under the arts, languages, and communications where they have degrees, in Spanish. So that might be also appealing for them too, if that's somewhere they just want to start and get some experience using that language. So thank you so much. If there's nothing else that you wanted to share, I think you pretty much covered everything. I will like to thank everyone again for participating today. I would like to thank Varsha, Nancy, Enrique, and of course you, Daniela, for sharing the positions and coming to the webinar today and taking time to hear and speak about the different opportunities that are going on today. And also, I want to thank the attendees who came to listen and hear about these opportunities. And this will actually be uploaded for those who are not able to attend the live session so that you can see this webinar and hear about the different opportunities available. And should any students or community members, whoever comes across the videos are interested, will have a interest form for individuals to fill out who can reach out. It'll directly reach out to us so that we can get them directly in contact with you should they meet the qualifications needed for the positions that you all spoke about today. And I would just love to give you guys a virtual round of applause again for coming and spending time here. The webinar will be uploaded to our website, which you can be found at skylinecollege.edu/career center. And I don't think we have any questions in the chat or currently. So thank you all for your time and for coming here today. And our job placement coordinators will be in contact with you should any students be interested and to just further collaborate within our partnership with you all.
Thanks, Alexa. So
Thank you.
Enrique, who has a hard time keeping his mouth quiet, I put on the chat my 2 emails, cuellar.e@gmail.com, also cuellar@slack.stanford.edu. So students can make note of that. I pass these on to Jonathan. You can also check out http:// careers.slack.stanford.edu, and that has our job opportunities. And just keep checking it because it gets, I mean, there's literally hundreds of opportunities that keep arising. So you will find there technician positions if you're interested in, after you graduate and get your AA degree in a technician position. You should definitely check that.
Thank you so much, Enrique, for all that. And I will hold on to your emails and we will be in contact because we would love to collaborate with each and every one of you in securing positions or giving you, at least providing potential candidates to you for these positions.
That'd be wonderful. Thanks.
Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. Again, I appreciate all of your time.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take care,
Terrence.
everyone.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.